What's up, guys? Brian back from the PT channel here to talk about some Walking Dead Season 7, what we hope will happen. It's April 22nd. They're going to start shooting the Season 7 episodes pretty soon. It's May to November. They shoot the season, and it's going to be coming up. So this is where we got Season 6 finale. We got left holding the bag. Basically, we're going to pick up right where we left off, most likely. Negan got the group captured. We think it's going to be Glenn who's going to die. Would be shocked to not be Glenn, but Glenn's going to be the victim. It's going to set up for the rest of the season, but barring that, it depends on who is the victim, how are they going to go with it. But I think it's going to be Glenn. It just sets up the story from the comic and everything there too with it. We'll probably get a scene like that for it. But the Negan era is upon us. Rick's a changed person. It's really going to screw Rick over pretty good. But whoever dies in it is the big thing to where it's going. But we're going to go with it's Glenn. Let's just think it's going to be Glenn. But it's going to be Negan versus Rick going forward. And Negan's going to have the group working for him, and it's going to change things. He's going to get in Alexandria and everything there, too. So I would think that after they die, they're going to have to get back in the RV and take a look at Maggie and get Maggie to the hilltop. Because Maggie's going to need some medical attention. And I don't know what the Saviors are going to do, but I would assume they're going to let Maggie go to the hilltop because they're going to need her to, survive for that. And will they keep the baby or will she not? So we'll see what happens, what they're going to do for the show. But I kind of hope she keeps the baby. I hope she's safe. Hope she's, going to stick to the comic book a little bit, but the show can do whatever they want. So I think they're going to get to the hilltop. We're going to see more Jesus and the hilltop and, dickhead Gregory. But Jesus is going to be a bigger part, hopefully, this season. So is Gregory, I would think. The hilltop's going to have to be an asset to Rick. Rick's going to need some help. Gregory's going to provide no help, probably, and get in the way. But Jesus should be the moderator for Rick versus Negan. So, also, Negan, we should get some backstory about Negan. We should get probably an episode about him, or at least about the Saviors. We'll see, hopefully, their compound, the sanctuary, his group of wives that he has, and really what is all about Negan. The iron, we might see that. We might see him actually use it on someone. We could see something to do with Dwight on there too, but we're going to see some more of the backstory about that, because Negan's a big character in there too, and he's going to be around for a while. He's a big deal in the comics, and he's probably going to be the big main villain for the rest of the show running, because he's still in the comic books alive today. So we should hopefully see the sanctuary where the Saviors live, and to see a little bit of that. The bigger thing, too, is that are they going to stick to the comics and have Carl and Negan have this relationship or whatever? It's a weird little thing from the comics, but, I think they have to have somewhat for that. Look how little Carl is. But Chandler Riggs and Jeffrey Dean Morgan should be connected there somehow going forward. It's going to be a weird connection we're underlying with it, but Carl ultimately wants to kill Negan going that, but he probably won't. But they're going to get into Alexandria. That should happen too. It should be a big thing when Negan actually and the Saviors get into Alexandria and take half their shit. So I doubt Negan will really go in there. Maybe he does. Maybe he sits on the sidelines. I don't know. But the Saviors will have to get into Alexandria and have to really take half their shit and what they want and who they want and whatever they want. That's what they're all about. They're going to have the survivors of Rick's group working for them. So we should see that. We should see more Alexandria. We should see the group struggling, dealing with the Saviors and everything. Then we got to see Tara and Heath come back. Tara, it's going to be sad when she comes back and Denise isn't there. It's going to be a terrible thing for her. But because we saw Tara leave with Heath on the 2-week run and we haven't seen them. So Heath's got to come back and figure out what's going on there too. So maybe, I would think there'll be characters for it. Now, here's the big thing in the comics is Dwight. Dwight, I don't know when they're going to do it, how they're going to do it, if they're going to do it or whatever, but we have Dwight might flip-flop and go over to the Survivor side and help Rick's group out. Does that happen early in Season 6? Later Season 7, sorry. In Season 7, does Abraham and Sasha, do they work out? Who knows? It depends on who dies, again. Does Rosita and Eugene get together? Does Eugene whatever happen there too? Does he die? Again, whoever gets picked, we'll see. But because in the comics, stuff happens between the characters. Now, Carol and Morgan, that's a big thing too. They're going to be at the Kingdom. They're going to be safe and sound at the Kingdom. That's going to be the other huge part of the Season 7 and when we get to see them again. I think it's going to probably be a couple episodes. We got to see the whole thing with Negan and who gets picked for an episode and whatever. But we'll finally get to see the Kingdom. Carol and Morgan will be safe. and that's going to be a big thing too. So they're going to be at some school with some buses, and they already started, seeing some buses, in Georgia now too. They're starting to filming. Like I said, they're going to start filming either next week or the first week in May. We're going to see King Ezekiel and Shiva there. They'll I would assume they're going to wait to bring Shiva around, because once you got that tiger around, it's going to be, got to keep her around. But Ezekiel, in the comics, they have a little relationship with Michonne, and that's not going to happen. Is it going to be Rosita, Tara, Sasha, or Carol? So weigh in on that. Post your comments. Again, so it's issue 108 is where they are in the timeline, is when Ezekiel shows up. They just ended with issue 100, so issue 100 will probably be around when they come back as well. So it'll take a couple episodes to see Shiva and how they're going to do with that. So I would assume it'll probably be at the mid-season finale, mid-season premiere when it comes back. But yeah, there's the buses that they found in Georgia. A picture of them they're going to have for the Kingdom. It's going to probably look something like this when they're going to have that. So we're probably going to have, March to War and then All Out War in the second half of Season 7. So it's going to be the Hilltop with Rick's group, and probably stuff's going to happen with the Hilltop, I would think, a little bit with them. Rick's group plus the Hilltop plus the Kingdom versus the Saviors. The Saviors are a huge group. We're going to see that. We're going to have some deaths, I'm sure, but we want people going out in a blaze of glory, not like this. So again, we were introduced to Negan and the huge group of the Saviors. There's going to be Rick's group. Hopefully we'll get a shot like this probably at the end of Season 7. We got to get them to there. So Hilltop, Kingdom, there versus the Saviors. Thanks for watching, guys. Post your comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Season 7, we can't wait.